So if you've been watching our channel for a while, you will know that we've spent quite a bit of time in Georgetown in the Bahamas. Georgetown has been our hurricane hole for the past 2 hurricane seasons. It is absolutely beautiful here, but there are so many boats here now that it doesn't feel the same. There are so many boats here in high season that it just isn't the same as when we were here during hurricane season. So it's time for us to move on. Before we do that, we have a couple jobs that we need to do. So we've installed a couple new solar panels, or new to us solar panels, on the helm hardtop. These solar panels go directly to our start battery. In order to get power from the start battery to the lithium, we need to connect up our DC to DC controller. So now it's just connecting it up and making sure it works before we head on our way. So part of this DC to DC install, we wanted to test the alternator to make sure that the alternators were putting out enough power so that we could run the DC to DC. When we were running the port engine, unfortunately we got an alarm. So I guess fortunately the alarm works. But the alarm was running for overheating. So Davy's currently down there trying to fix the raw water pump. It looks like a belt went. So that's best case scenario. We have spare belts. So we're gonna fix that up and be back in business. How you doing in there?
I'm doing pretty good.
Haven't been down in there for a while.
I'm making love to my favourite Yanmar.
You're literally
Sorry about the angle, guys.
So we had an overheating alarm?
Yeah, overheating alarm, but I found an extremely loose belt on this. This is the new pump that we put in Miami, wasn't it?
Yeah, before we crossed.
Yeah, exactly. So it is just literally, it's just a loose belt. I should have kept an eye on it. It got a little bit slack. I probably should tighten it up. Now it's worn out, so it's kind of my fault. But such is life.
Preventative maintenance, right?
Yeah. I'll prevent that oil going up my butt. Anyway, guys, I'll speak to you in a minute. This is a bit tight.
So we're up bright and early today. Today's the day that we actually sprung forward an hour. So it is 7:20, which really is 6:20. It's just starting to get light. And we are going to do a different route this time. So we are going to go down the inside of Great Exuma Island. A route people don't normally take. A lot of people go down to Georgetown. We'll be on the other side of the island. So it's going to be a little bit of fun. A little bit shallow.
Good morning, everyone. Yeah, it is a little bit earlier. So we've also got our body boats here. We've got bugging out in front of us there, ready to go. Hamisha off to the side here. And we've also got the oil tanker coming up behind there. So 4 of us are going to go together this morning. And I apologise, I got everybody up just a little bit too early. It was still dark because the clock's changed. So apologies, guys. But anyway, I think we're ready to go.
Yeah, gonna go through some shallows. So the route goes up through there, around. It is quite shallow in some areas and you have to stay to the chart. But we're gonna end up down there somewhere. Everything's wet. We're also leaving this early in the morning because it is high tide right now. So we want the tide in our favor for when we go through some of these shallows. Look at that, the sun's just coming up. It's the first sunrise I've seen for a long time. Carl, you awake? He's alive!
I was just doing dishes.
Everyone else's anchor's up.
Hey Wriggles, let's go get you all settled in, okay? Everything's dewy.
Very dewy, very wet.
Alright, are we gonna take the lead?
It looks like it.
Everyone's holding fire until we go first. Foxy likes to sit right at the very front of the boat, so I like to put her on a harness just to hold her in place. Off, off. Arf, arf. I love you. Come here. So we've left this early because it's supposed to be high tide. The only problem is visual navigation is a little bit harder because you don't get those different colors with the sun on the water. So we did see 4 feet of water. We draw 4 feet. We didn't touch, but it's a bit nerve-wracking. We've got all our little ducks in a row following behind us. So we have come this way once before, up past Square Rock, but then we continued north. I love this route because it is so scenic. It comes so close to some of the rocks. It's beautiful. But we do have to go a little bit north to go south. So I'll flip the camera around in a minute. We have to go around the point of Great Exuma Island before we can then hang a left and go down the inside. So the point is all the way up there. Square Rock is dead ahead, and it's so beautiful. So we're getting close to the tip of Great Exuma, just over there. It's like 2 nautical miles away. And then we can make the turn and explore new to us territory. It's exciting. Everything's so wet though. Dewy, dewy, dewy.
Yeah, everything's soaked. Should have your mop out.
Yeah, I should actually. So we're just rounding the tip. And of course the wind is now right on the nose. It was supposed to be easterly today, but I guess it's just light and variable. It's not super strong, but you can definitely feel it a little bit more than over there. Can't even see that one on the camera. What do you think, Captain Davy?
Oh, good so far. Should get shallow again soon.
Why is it always wind on the nose?
It's annoying.
It's really annoying. Okay, so we've changed angle ever so slightly. So instead of getting the slammy slams and hobby horsing, now we're getting the wishy-washies.
Should have bought a bigger boat. This is why we do want to upgrade Barefoot up to something that's in about the 45 range. Just because of the smaller length of your waterline, it's horrible when you're going into short, sharp waves, and we always hate it.
The wind always ends up where you don't want it to come from. Why? Where are you going?
About here, I think.
Stop 1, or part 1, complete. We're about to drop the anchor. Forgot to hit record. We've dropped anchor a second time, and I'm gross. What depth are we in?
We are in 8.5.
So that'll be 5.
6.
All right, make this quick because the battery's low. So that is not the sunrise from this morning, that is sunset. So we have decided to move anchorages. We've checked Chris Parker and it looks like there could be a little bit of northwest coming this evening or early tomorrow morning. So we're moving behind the island that we were anchored on the other side of earlier, just because it gives us a little bit more protection if we get northwest winds. Good morning!
Morning.
So,
I only had 1 coffee.
So yesterday I was filming when we were moving the boat. We did decide to change anchorages because the wind was set to come out of the north, which it is now.
Battery died again.
Yeah, good old GoPro. But
that was a good call, because if you look at the land, Erica can show you, that is, we would have been on a really good lee shore over there behind those rocks that you can see if you look straight down my arm. We'd have been very close to the shore there with the wind prevailing at us, and that has a lot of fetch. So because where we are now, it's just a little bit rolly coming through a cut there, but not very much at all. So
what's the plan for today?
Going that way.
So being here on the banks it's different. It's beautiful. The sunsets are amazing because there's no land in sight when the sun sets, so it was awesome last night. But it is very, very shallow. So I'm gonna get out of the wind. So we are a group of 4 catamarans, and one of the catamarans did end up on a little bit of a sandbar yesterday. So that's another reason why we decided to move over here, because one of their hulls was a little bit airborne, I guess we can say. So Yes, over here we're anchored in about 8 feet of water, but over here as well, it seems like the tides are about 3.5 feet. It is a new moon cycle, so that might be a cause of it, but 3.5 foot tides does make it a little bit interesting when anchoring.
For the Bahamas, it's normally only about 2.
Yeah, it's a lot for the Bahamas. It makes it a little bit interesting when anchoring, especially when it's so shallow. You pull up to an anchorage and you're in 8 feet of water and you're like, that'll do. But no, it goes down 3.5 feet. Anyways, instead of rambling on, we are gonna move the boat again today because this isn't the most comfortable position. Plus another one of our buddy boats has his wife flying back in a couple days, so we need to be closer to Great Exuma Island. So we are gonna move about 10 miles today. It's exciting to be on the move again. Okay, so it's been a bit of a windier day than anticipated out of the northeast. It's been the wishy-washies again. We've had a few things walking around in the boat, but all is well. We're getting close to our destination for the day, but it is so shallow on this side of the island. It's insane. So all of our buddy boats are kind of in different places looking for the best places to anchor at the moment. Hopefully we find deep enough water and nobody ends up on a sandbar tonight. We'll see what happens.
I'm just trying to navigate in there, gotta watch my depth. But it's alright, it's good to let everyone else search around for the deeper spots and we can just cruise on in. Doesn't matter, I don't mind being last today. Good job, Carl.
Our water jug likes to be here.
Yeah, it walked itself to the middle.
It walked itself to the middle when we were going over some waves. Inside the boat, the ninja shelf likes to pop out. I've secured some stuff. Had some stuff falling over. Down on the port side, that bathroom door has shut itself. I can probably open it now. So it's been a little bit interesting in this anchorage. So the west side of Great Exuma, or the bank side, it's very shallow. So, and I think right now as well, we have a new moon. The tides have been a bit crazier than normal. So we came into this anchorage yesterday, we all dropped anchor, and we were sitting in about 8 feet of water. Come low tide, which is also delayed to the other side of the island by about 3 hours, which has been fun to figure out. Come low tide, we were all pretty much touching the bottom, so 4 feet for us. Our group chat was hilarious. There were so many messages saying, oh, 4-1, oh, my depth sounder's reading minus 1.8, depth sounder's reading minus 2 point whatever. So it was really, really interesting. We all had different posts out. We were using sticks to try and see what the actual depth was underneath the boat. The shallowest we saw was 4 feet, and when I looked underneath the boat from the bathroom escape hatches, it kind of looked like just the back of the keel was touching the sand. It's really soft sand here, so it's not that huge of a issue, but it has been a bit comical. So we are looking forward to high tide. We're gonna make our way through a bit of a narrow cut before heading down to the Raggeds. So would we recommend this side of Great Exuma Island? If you have a shallow draft, it is beautiful. You get the beautiful sunsets with no land in sight, which is awesome. And you're still close enough that you can run back into Georgetown if you need some different supplies. But it is really shallow, so you have to be confident in your cruising ability.
I am a barefoot man, barefoot to make my stand. I bare my soul for all the world to see. Yeah. I am a barefoot man, feet planted firmly in the sand. Bare your souls, come along with me. Lose your shoes, lose your blues, come along with me.